Type. So in terms of Zakat al-Fitr, the ruling first of all, is that it is obligatory. Zakatul Mal and Zakat al-Fitr both are obligatory. It is mandatory. Type, fard. On whom every single Muslim, male and female, old and young, it's obligatory. In fact, the scholars go to the extent of saying that if in a family the mother is pregnant, she's carrying a child, and the child is more than 120 days, which means the soul has been put into the child. In this case, even though the child is not yet born and Ramadan comes, Zakat al-Fitr is due on the child as well. So if my family has 6 people, Zakat al-Fitr is due on all 6 of them. Type. The wisdom of this, or the which the scholars give, and we have a hadith that it is to purify our acts of Ramadan, our fasting of Ramadan, from vain speech and immoral deed. Because sometimes we do this, right? And we are all like the hadith of Rasulullah, kullu bani Adam khata. So the every son of Adam sins. So all of us do this. In spite of knowing this, in spite of knowing we should guard our tongue, sometimes inadvertently, unintentionally, these things happen. So this purifies these sins. What? Zakat al-Fitr. It purifies the sins. And when we said it is given by every Muslim, so for example, if a family has 6 people, let's say I have in my family 6 people, I, as the head of the family, I can pay Zakat al-Fitr on behalf of all of them. So I can give Zakat al-Fitr on behalf of all my family members. This is permissible. If they want to give it on their own, alhamdulillah, highly encouraged, ahlan wa sahlan, they can do that. So for example, if my eldest son is working, he has a source of income, it's better he gives it separately. Especially if he has his own family as well. And they're separate kitchens, in terms of the cooking in the house. It's better they do it themselves. Right? But otherwise, I can give it on behalf of the 6 members. Okay, that's allowed, inshallah. Because we said old and young, and male and female, everyone, what is to be given, and sorry, how much to give, first of all, rather than what, It is 1 sa. 1 sa. Okay, 1 sa is what is to be given. What is 1 sa? Again, in those days, they didn't have kilograms, liters, these kind of, what do you call them? SI unit of measurements or whatever, So they used to use sa. So 1 sa basically is equal to 4 mud. So what is mud, Ustad? So mud is another measurement they had, all right? So again, these were the measurements they had in those days. Sa and mud, in terms of weight, for example, So 1 sa equals 4 mud. 1 mud is basically 1 handful. So you take your 1 adult handful, to be specific, 1 adult handful. So you take 2 palms together, any adult person, take your 2 palms together, cup them like a cup, and you take whatever, wheat, rice, and this, or dates, whatever. That amount is 1 mud. Wada, clear? That amount is 1 mud. So 1 handful, which comes in both your palms together, right? That's 1 mud. So 4 times like that is 1 sa. And the scholars these days, and we have a lot of research done on this in terms of scholars, they've equated 1 mud in these days to be approximately 650 grams. 650 grams, which means 1 sa, which is 4 mud, 4 times or 4 handfuls, approximately equates to 2.6 kilograms. So if you keep it on the higher side, like 3 kilograms per person, alhamdulillah, this is good. So for each family member, 3 kilograms, alhamdulillah, this is good. So this is the relationship between sa and mud. So 1 sa equals to 4 mud, or 4 handfuls. So eventually you're giving approximately 2.6 kilograms per person. Per person. Of what? What are we giving? Basic food of the country where you reside. Basic food of the country where you reside. Because the wisdom is that the ones you give it to the recipients can also enjoy Eid. They can have a nice time. They can have a feast, because Eid, as we said in the hadith of Rasulullah, that this ummah of his has 2 days of celebration, Eid al-Fitr or Eid al-Adha. So there is no New Year's Day, no Republic Day, no Independence Day, no Valentine's Day, no Mother's Day, no Father's Day, no Dog's Day, no, nothing. We have Eid al-Fitr and Eid al-Adha. This is what we celebrate. Barakallahu feekum. So we want everyone to celebrate in the community, the whole ummah, inshallah. So we give them something which they can cook and eat. So if I'm in a place where rice is predominantly eaten, that's the basic staple food, you give rice, 3 kilograms, 2.6 kilograms of rice. If it is wheat, likewise, whatever. Yeah. Now, so the basic food of the resident country. And it has to be food. It has to be food. Because there are many times questions with students asking me that, can we give money? Can we give cash? All right. The answer is no. The answer is no. Why, Ustad? We have this Fala organization, this charity, and he comes to the masjid with this nice coupon booklet, and he says each coupon is like, I don't know, 15 riyals, 20 riyals, and I just go give him 20 riyals and I take a coupon and he ensures this rice is given to people in Africa and so on. Alhamdulillah, Jazakallah khair, fantastic. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his Sahaba radiallahu anhum, the best of generations, in their lifetimes, they had currency. They used to deal with gold and silver and dinar and dirham. They would buy and trade with this. This was known. So money was known in those days. But none of them gave this. All of them gave actual food. We don't have any evidence of Rasulullah saying that this is also permissible. And these two different acts. It's an act of worship, right? We said it is fard, it's obligatory. So imagine just walking up to a counter or a booth or a table in the masjid, and giving 20 riyals and taking a coupon from the booklet and going home and saying, Alhamdulillah, I've done my job. And going 1 or 2 days before Eid, looking around the town and the city to know where the poor people are, then going to the supermarket, buying rice, bags of rice or whatever, how much ever, loading them into the car, driving around, looking for the poor people, giving it to them, Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum salam, Jazakallah khair, wa anta fa Jazakallah khair, and having that assurance and peace of mind that I have done this act of worship. You see the two differences, the contrast in the two options? But that's immaterial. I'm just giving you the logical reason. That's immaterial. What is material is, this is not the sunnah. It is not the sunnah. The sunnah is to give food. Barakallahu feekum. To whom to give this to? Muslims. Muslims. The poor and the needy Muslims. So you cannot give them to the kuffar, you give them to Muslims. You search out and look out and see who are the people who deserve this and whom you think would benefit from this and they can enjoy a good Eid, you give it to them. When to give Zakat al-Fitr? What is the time, right? So it is given at the end of Ramadan, that's clear. To purify our sins and vain speech during the month of Ramadan and purify our fasting. Time. So there is a sunnah time which Rasulullah would do, which is what? On 1st of Shawwal, the day of Eid, after Salatul Fajr, until he went out for Eid Salah, the Eid Salah. Because Salatul Eid is after the sun rises on 1st of Shawwal. So when the sun has risen a height of a spear, or beyond that, this is when the time for Salatul Eid starts, and this is when they would pray. So approximately like 2 hours, you can say, from Salatul Fajr to Eid Salah, 1.5 to 2 hours. So this is the time which is the sunnah. This is when Rasulullah would give Zakat al-Fitr. As you go out to the masjid, as you walk down to the Musalla, Eid Musalla, you pay Zakat al-Fitr. What is allowed based on the practice of many Sahaba is starting from the Hilal of 1st of Shawwal. So today is end of Ramadan. Let's say today is 29th of Ramadan, for example, and we spot the Hilal. We see the new moon, the crescent of Ramadan. Sorry, Shawwal. So after Maghrib, the night comes before the day. So after Maghrib, the night of the 1st of Shawwal has started. So after Maghrib, until you go out for Eid Salah the next morning, that time can also be used to give Zakat al-Fitr. Many Sahaba have done that. What is let's say permissible to give is to give it 1 or 2 days, because we have some riwayat from 1 or 2 Sahaba of Rasulullah that they would do that 1 or 2 days, but not like 15 days before, 10 days before, 4 days, 10 days, 8 days. No, maximum 1 or 2 days, and that too if you have a reason. Let's say you're not going to be present, or something is going to keep you. You're going to be on duty or whatever. In this case, fine, 1 or 2 days maximum. But otherwise, this is the best after Maghrib of first of Shawwal, or after Fajr of the first of Shawwal, and that is the Sunnah. This is when Zakat al-Fitr is good.